Okay, hello. This is a bit of a different type of video for me because I typically don't jump on here already zoomed in, barefaced, ready to go to put my makeup on, but I wanted to test this out on my channel and I got some news to share, as you guys saw from the title, so I figured we could sit down and I can tell you guys about it and I can test this video idea out where basically I just do my makeup very laid back, very chit-chatty. I don't do too much on the editing end of it, and that way just to see if I'm able to include more videos during the week and be able to include more of like me trying on palettes, because there's so many palettes that I have that I want to do videos on, but I just don't have the time to do detailed, like in-depth reviews on and really put together video on in a timely manner, because I think I have like 10 palettes. So I was thinking maybe if I can include one of these once a week or every other week where it's very laid back, just this is going to be the only frame that you guys see and we start with a bare face and work our way all the way to a complete face. And I'm kind of thinking this in the line of Smoky Glow Hannah on here. She does these Talk Tuesdays, kind of something like that, where I just sit down and I'm talking about either my life, an update, or, you know, I don't know, just something interesting, and I put my makeup on and it's nothing too serious, I guess is what I'm saying. So let's go ahead and do that right after my Instagram shout out. Before we do that though, let's go ahead and do my Instagram shout out for today. And for today, I'm going to be highlighting this commenter from my most recent Instagram post. They left this really sweet comment and it just stood out to me and I really do appreciate it. So yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to comment on my posts over on Instagram. I really do appreciate it. And you are my Instagram shout out for today. I'm not going to do too much today just because I actually am kind of sick. I have a cold and a sore throat, so I didn't sleep much last night, hence the dark circles. But I'm gonna put this on. This is DJ's Unique Boutique. It's a lip gloss in brown sugar, a new one from her that she sent me. I don't know how like moisturizing it'll be because I definitely do need some moisture on my very dry lips, but it felt good when I put it on initially, so I want to wear it as I do my makeup just to help moisturize my lips and see how I like it. It definitely feels like a lip oil. I like it. And I'm just gonna prime with the Zoeva primer real fast. And as you guys saw, I'm going to be using the Pure x RawBeautyKristi Palette. I'm going to use the mattes from here, and I'll probably use DJ's new singles because she sent me a couple, so I'll probably use that for the shimmers. But let's go ahead and do the mattes. I'm just going to start with that green, and then we'll see where we go, and we can get going on this laid back type of video for me. Yeah, as you guys saw from the title, I don't want to like clickbait you or anything, but I definitely have some bad news. And it's nothing like super serious. I almost feel like I should just move on with my life and not even mention it, but I feel like I was very gone from my Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I was very quiet there, and then even on YouTube I would feel like I've just not been very present. This is not looking great. I think I need to switch to a different brush. The fluffy brush doesn't do well with this formula on a sticky base. So anyway, I just want to address it really quick because it is a part of my life, and it's just been a little hectic and crazy behind the scenes for me lately. But basically, I found out I was pregnant a couple weeks ago, and if you are new to my channel or new to me, you may not know, but like I get very, very sick when I get pregnant. And for me, morning sickness starts not immediate, but very close. Usually by the 6-week mark, I'm already feeling like the nausea and just the overall feeling not well. I mean, right away, I feel different. I can feel like the bad taste in your mouth coming, everything just tasting weird and stuff like that. But the nausea and stuff, typically, I don't know, I don't really feel any of it and start to set in until like the 6-week mark. But anyway, that's fairly soon. And for me, like I get fairly bad nausea, so I always have to kind of prep early on. And we usually tell people early on because I get so sick, it's very obvious very quickly. So I found out I was pregnant, and I had kind of known I was gonna get pregnant. My husband and I are very just kind of chill with children and whatnot, and like when they come, whenever they come is kind of our attitude. And I had known, I'm very aware of my cycle, so I had known we would probably get pregnant this time around, and then I finally took it and I was pregnant. So I like immediately was like, okay, I'm gonna be sick, you're like super busy at work, I need to like prep things. And so that's the biggest reason I kind of stepped back from my YouTube channel, because I was like trying to prepare the house, I should probably tell you guys up front, I miscarried, so I'm not pregnant before you go down there and like, you know, say congratulations or anything. I'm really bad at telling stories. I'm so sorry, but I did have a miscarriage. So all this, you know, before the miscarriage, I was like, okay, I gotta like prepare the house. I was like going through all the different areas of the house and like decluttering and just getting rid of like excess stuff to try to make it so that like it would be doable and feasible for like the kids to help me clean up, my husband to be able to clean up, and just upkeep the house when I was sick. Because typically definitely the first trimester, but for all my pregnancies, I don't feel well for at least the first half, and then some of them, you know, Levi didn't feel well throughout the whole pregnancy, but at least it was like livable after the first half. So anyway, I was trying to prepare it, and I also like did a ton of freezer meals. I think we have over 20 meals in our freezer now, because I was like, okay, let me get some freezer meals done. I can put some meals in the freezer, and then that'll be very easy when I'm sick and don't feel well. I can just pull something out, prepare it, ready to go. So yeah, I was excited, and I was kind of like prepping and thinking behind the scenes, like, okay, what can I do? Like on my channel, I know I'm gonna disappear for a little, well, not disappear, I was wanting to see if I had enough content pre-recorded that was behind, that I am still behind on putting out there. So like, you know what, I could put those up maybe once a week and just kind of cut back to once a week until I feel better and whatnot. So anyway, I was doing all this kind of prep work, and then I think it was like a week and a half or whatever after finding out, I woke up in the morning and started bleeding. And so I was like, that's not good. I know spotting can be okay, you know, can be normal, but it like very quickly was like, okay, this isn't normal. I was super nauseous when I first started bleeding. I didn't feel well. I had a headache. It was really intense, and like I usually don't get that intensity when like a period or whatnot. So that day wasn't the best, and I was just kept bleeding more and more and more and more. And so, you know, by the halfway lunchtime or whatever, I was pretty sure that I was miscarrying. And I had taken a pregnancy test that morning, and it was also a very faint pregnancy, like a positive, but it was still positive. So I was like, okay, like it's a lot less though, because I had taken 2 other pregnancy tests before I started bleeding, and they were like very bright, obviously like, yeah, you're pregnant. And so when I took it that morning just to confirm with a different test just a little bit later, I don't know, I like to confirm a lot, I guess. But anyway, I had taken it that day, and I noticed the blood after I had, you know, done the test, and then I looked at the results and I was like, I can't really see that line anymore. So yeah, that's kind of like my news. I don't know what else to say besides that. Like that was the biggest reason I kind of left and was really quiet on Instagram and on my YouTube channel, is just because for the first half I was like gearing up, trying to get everything ready, just doing all this prep work around my house and for my family, and just trying to plan what I could and prepare what I could before I started feeling sick. And then a week or so later it was like, oh, okay, maybe it's different. And then, you know, after that, I still, even after a couple days of bleeding, I was still showing positive, nothing vibrant, but I was still showing a positive on pregnancy tests. So my OB wanted me to come in and get a blood test done to see for sure, and just to see what was going on. And so I had to schedule that, I had to go do that. And then that was the day that my Natasha Denona palette was supposed to come in, and because I had to go take the test, I wasn't home, and they didn't leave it, which I wasn't expecting that, but I guess because, I don't know, the way Natasha Denona insured it, they had to like hand it off to someone. So since I wasn't home, they didn't deliver it that day, and that really messed up my plans. So that was a day. But anyway, yeah, so I was, you know, thinking that I would do this video and get to share with you guys that we were going to be a family of 4 in November, towards the beginning of November, but this video is turning out differently, and just want to let you guys know, you know, that's the reason I kind of backed off. And I'm okay now. I feel like a lot of people, especially with the miscarriage, you know, everyone takes it differently, but for me, I was definitely disappointed, but it was mostly, I don't know, we weren't very far along, so I almost felt silly to be disappointed by that much. But for me personally, like, even though I didn't get a positive pregnancy test, I kind of knew I was pregnant for probably a total of like 3 weeks, I guess, because like I said, I know my cycle, and I have a pretty, I don't know, easy way of knowing when I'm fertile and whatnot, so I kind of always keep a tab on it. And so I had a feeling we were going to be pregnant, so I was already kind of prepping the house. And then when I got the positive test, I really kind of kicked it into gear. So it kind of felt for me a little bit more like I had known for a while, and then to be like super disappointed. But we actually had only told like family a week-ish before I started bleeding, then we had to tell them that it wasn't going to happen anymore. But yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to share with you guys. I feel like it's a little therapeutic for me to just be able to talk about it. that's what we got going on the eyes. I think it turned out fine. It was a little rough in the beginning, but you guys know I want to use the greens. She has 2 different types of greens, but I feel like the blue would also be really pretty. I'm gonna do, let's see, which is the shiniest? I'm gonna use these 2. I'll tell you guys, it's Caribbean Waters and Enchanted Forest. These are both available now from DJ's Unique Boutique. I'm just so behind. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad when brands send me stuff. I'm so appreciative, and then I just like take forever to actually do anything with it. So I'm actually gonna put a little glitter glue on. Everything seems to have, like, you know, finished off, and like my miscarriage was fine, no complications so far. I'll be going into the doctor's, my OB, in a couple weeks just to do my yearly and check on everything. But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of like almost like a high for a couple weeks of like, okay, I got so much to do. I got, you know, got to prepare and make sure everything's good to go before I start feeling sick. And I was kind of like just mentally preparing myself for being sick for this, you know, the year. And then it was like all this rush and whatnot. And I was like, oh, wait, never mind. No longer. So that was a little bit, it was sad. But the kids took it well when we had to tell them. I felt so bad because, like, when we finally told them, I wanted to wait a little while, but I also wanted to tell them just because it was a lot of hubbub around the house, and I was talking to my mom and, you know, my sisters and whatnot, and I was like, I want to tell them before they just accidentally overhear and whatnot. So we finally told them, and we told them like Friday evening or whatever, and then Saturday morning I started bleeding, so I was like, man, we should have just waited one more day, and then we wouldn't have had to tell them the bad news. Okay, this isn't picking too well up on this little fluffy brush. I still need to clean my brushes, so I'm just gonna go in with this. I think I'm gonna put it mostly everywhere, and then I'm going to take the green kind of up and over the inner portion of it. So anyway, she was a little bit like, wait, we're not gonna have a baby anymore? Right after we told her I was pregnant, she was like, oh, mommy, if it's a little girl, she's like, we can put her in my room, and like I can have her little crib next to me, and I can help rock her to sleep. It was so cute. But she took it well when we had to tell them, like, oh, you know, something happened and mommy miscarried, the baby isn't in there anymore, and they were fine. We'll see. I feel like with my kids, it's always like you tell them and it takes, at least with Olivia. I don't think Gideon had much of a reaction for either when we told them or when we told him the bad news. Good news or bad news, he was just like, okay. But Olivia, she takes a little while. Like, we'll tell her stuff and then you can tell it kind of soaks in, and a day or two later she'll come back to me and we'll have a deeper conversation about it. So we'll see how she goes. We just told them because we've just been avoiding having to tell them about the miscarriage. But yeah, I don't know what to say now. That's basically all I wanted to share with you guys. Again, I feel like I almost don't need to say it at all. I don't know, I just feel like I'd share the little life update of what we were going through. Even though it was like super early, it was still a little life that was growing in me for a couple weeks before, you know, whatever happened. But like, this was my first kind of rodeo with a miscarriage. I never miscarried before this one, so it was a very new experience. I'm thankful that, you know, it was all fairly smooth, and I know miscarriages are not uncommon. So, like I said, I almost feel weird, like I don't mean to make a big deal of it on here, doing a video on it, but I just want to share with you guys of what's going on and what almost was. When I was like thinking about my YouTube channel this year, I was like, oh, it's gonna look a little different, we're gonna have to do things differently. But so far, unless I, you know, get pregnant, this is the next month I suppose, but so far we'll just business as usual. But I'll probably be adding a little bit more content back in, just because, like I said, if I can fit this type of video on and it's not too hard for me to edit, I like to put up more of these type of videos for you guys and be able to share with you guys all the palettes that are just forever on backlog for me. So now I'm gonna go back into the outer corner shade. Just touch it up, but that looks super pretty. Very like glittery, not glittery, but like shimmery, very pretty. I think I'm gonna omit the liner today just because I don't know. Don't really feel like taking too much time. I think I already said in the beginning, but I came down sick yesterday with a sore throat and a cold, so I don't feel great, but I wanted to do my makeup today because definitely doing my makeup, I feel like, just helps me feel a bit better, feel less sick, so that's why I'm doing it. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna leave. I'll probably just go ahead and wrap it up here, and I'm gonna do the rest of my face, and then we'll come back, just because I don't have too much more to share with you guys. Let me know how you guys like the idea of this if I just kind of keep it very simple, zoomed in, one frame, and not too many like fancy things afterwards with the edits and whatnot. How you guys like that? If you would like to see that on my channel with, you know, palettes that I have, because I just have so many palettes, like I said, that I don't have time to do 3 looks 1 palette, or even like a review and whatnot with swatches and whatnot. But I'd love to at least do 1 look on my channel, because I like to have a reference point, so at least 1 video with 1 look. And so that's why I was thinking maybe something like this, more laid back, where we can just, I don't know, chat about whatever and keep it very simple on the edits and whatnot, so I don't have to take too much time in recording, and then I don't have to take too much time in editing. I might be able to do that and offer you guys an extra video every week. Week would be ideal. In my head I'm like, oh, every week I could do this, but probably logistically every 2 weeks or so. Okay, so my battery died, so I was like, oh fine, I'll just finish up and then come back for the final bit. I did my face and didn't do too much face concealer and a little bit of bronzer, and that's all I plan to do today. But I'm just gonna put some of this in my waterline. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it consistent and just take a little bit of that blue on the bottom lash line. Anyway, I'm doing fine. I don't want you guys to think like I'm super sad or broken up about it. I mean, I'm sad, but like, I'm okay. I'll be okay. And this was mainly just a video for me to chat about it, let you guys know what was going on. That's about it. I just want to sit down and talk with you guys. I feel like it's been therapeutic for me just to be able to sit down and talk about it, just because I didn't get to tell many people about it. And I mean, my siblings, I was gonna tell my older siblings who were married, and by the time, you know, we were going to the day I started bleeding was when I was gonna tell them when we got together that day. So then I just had to be like, hey, by the way, I was pregnant, no longer anymore. It was just kind of anticlimactic, you know? I was like, man, I should have told them earlier. It would have been easier to be like, share the good news, and then later have to be like, oh, never mind. I love the eyes, like the shimmer. Oh, DJ's Unique Boutique, her shimmer, wow, I think that's really pretty. Kind of wish I wouldn't have been so lazy and put a wing on, because I feel like that would have been even stronger. And I barely put any mascara on just because I don't feel like sitting here putting on mascara, and Levi's starting to wake up, so I'm wrapping this up here. But it's still super pretty. The green and the blue, oh, there's a lot of sparkle reflex, which you guys know I like in my shimmers. If it's metallic or has a lot of sparkle reflect, it's beautiful. So this is my first time. I don't think I was clear, but she sent me this package last week, so this is my very first time using it. I figured we could use it on camera. Super impressed. First impressions, I really like it. Let's go ahead and use one more. In fact, I'm going to use the white one for my inner corner. This is Pink Chameleon. I almost thought it said champagne. Pink Chameleon. We're going to use that, which obviously looks white with a pink shift. I think it's just going to look white to you guys, but I'll put it on my eyes and it'll probably be easier to tell. Kind of flaky when I'm picking it up and a little tricky to pick up. Let me see if I can put it on. If not, I might wet my brush, because that'll help it kind of transfer. Ooh, that went on pretty well. Maybe it's one of those shadows where it looks like nothing's coming up, but then it's got a ton on the brush. Very pretty. Ooh, it's pretty. I meant to say this in the beginning, and I totally forgot, obviously, but the Pure and RawBeautyKristi palette, the reason I want to use it today was because it was sent to me by a subscriber, and I've posted some looks on my Instagram already, but I wanted to put one on my YouTube just as a thank you. I really do appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. It's really pretty, you know, to work with and whatnot. It creates a lot of pretty looks. So I wanted to have a video, again, using this palette on my channel just for reference and whatnot, then to look back on. So that's why I wanted to use it today. And then also DJ's Unique Boutiques. I ended up using Enchanted Forest, Caribbean Waters, and this one, which is Pink Chameleon. I bet the Pink Chameleon would also be pretty as a highlight, so let me try that. I gotta be careful because I feel like it's very flaky, so I'm gonna like pick it up and then rub it on my hand to kind of get it in there before putting it on. Let's see. Maybe that rubbed too much on my hand. Let's knock it off and try. If I see anything, I see something. It's like a duochrome, duo type of highlighter. That's pretty. We'll do that. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. That's pretty much the look. I will go ahead and stick up close-ups because I'm someone who I just always like to see the up-close look of an eye look, just really as up close as comfortably possible, so I like to still include that in these videos and whatnot, and I take them for Instagram anyway, so it's not that big a deal, you know, that much extra work for me to include it. But yeah, here is the final look. I really enjoyed working with the DJ's Unique Boutique shadows. Very, very pretty. This is pretty much the video. That was pretty much the news that I wanted to share. Let me go ahead and reapply. I really like her gloss. It feels like the lip oils from Butter London that I like. A little less pigmented than the Butter London lip oils, but the feel is the same. So it feels nice on my lips when I was doing my makeup. And I got like, hello, zits everywhere right now. That was another thing. With getting pregnant, I was getting all sorts of breakouts, which is common for me to get when I get pregnant. And then I was like, oh, never mind, you got the zits, but nothing's gonna happen. So my face is a mess right now. But yeah, that is pretty much the video, pretty much the look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as I said, please let me know what you guys think of this style of video where it's a lot more relaxed and laid back and we just play. Probably in the future I'll just like focus on just an eyeshadow palette and not really do the whole face on camera, just because it does take a long time because I'm just a chatty Cathy over here. Yeah, and as I said, with the, you know, the sad news, I don't mean to share it to make anyone like feel bad for me. I'm fine, I'm okay. I just wanted to kind of share this little life update that it did happen. We did have a fourth little one, but the little one is no longer with us, and yeah, we're not going to be having a baby. We're not going to be adding a baby in November like I thought we were. And so yeah, I just wanted to sit down and share with you guys about that, let you guys know what was going on behind the scenes when I was super quiet a couple weeks ago, or like a week or two ago, because this should be going up relatively soon after I film it. And yeah, I think that is it. So I'm just gonna wrap it up here. You guys know you can find me on Instagram per usual. And if you did enjoy it, as always, hit the thumbs up button down below before you leave. And with all that said, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys.